Well, of course, I'm born and raised here in Edmonton, so I did undergraduate degree at the University of Alberta, and I guess like a lot of people of my generation, I kind of my first exposure to the art world was through my education, my sort of privileged education, and this particular art world that was Edmonton in the 1980s, which is kind of a strange place, very different than it is now, as I understand it at least, because I've been away for a long time. This project with the open call and this idea of borders was, first of all, starting from the standpoint that I was born and raised in this place, but maybe I've been kind of a settler tourist in the place that I've called home. So I wanted to ask a very simple question of again, like predicated on encounters. I was hoping to have encounters and have been fortunate to some degree to have these encounters with knowledge keepers and with Indigenous people, activists, and in our communities in Saskatoon and in Edmonton about what does a decolonized land look like, and what is the meaning of Treaty 6, this territory that has a certain definition of boundaries, borders. What does that mean today? What did it mean then, and what does it mean now? And what does it mean maybe moving forward? I really embraced this theme that the curators had put forward for this exhibition, in the sense that it being about borders and to some degree maybe about traversing borders. But for me, it was also like about different conceptions of borders, and not different in degree, but different in kind, in the sense that, this settler notion of border is really kind of this arbitrary line that is cut across wilderness, mountains, regardless. It just goes through rivers. It's like the line between Alberta and Saskatchewan. This is why in the installation in the gallery, we actually cut into the wall. It's like this, it's kind of violent. It cuts through. But the Indigenous kind of notion of a border, it's more of an expression that has to do with entering into composition with all aspects of the land, so that the people are, and the language that takes the form of the land, in the sense that the animals, the water, the resources, the plants, the medicines are all formative as to what is the imprint of a people on the land. So it's extremely different. It's obviously very dynamic and curvilinear and porous conception of border, as compared to this stratifying, jurisdictional, legalistic, settler, colonial conception of border. Mm-hmm. I think that the work itself is research in a lot of respects. And certainly I conducted 4 interviews so far, and this project too is not completely confined in a temporal sense by the biennial, even in the sense that it's ongoing. So these encounters, these interviews that I'm having with people, I don't mind to continue to have them and maybe add to the piece even in the course of its running. What is proposed, what's being put forward, is not certainly not a solution, not a totalizing kind of narrative. It's a sliver, it's a fragment, but the hope is that that people will take this kind of partial objects, and that will become maybe the basis of conversation at the dinner table, and that maybe that the work will have this potentially a kind of rhizomatic effect in that respect that I don't want to take any credit for, nor will I have any possible means of knowing about. It will be that if people actually listen to the interviews, if they contemplate this territory and these borders in ways that sort of make for a reflective or a contemplative space for them, and maybe that will have a knock-on effect in terms of starting a conversation that wouldn't have happened otherwise.